Guys, be quiet. Oh, I'm live. Did I just yell, guys, be quiet at the beginning? That's so funny. Hi, everyone. Crystal Lynn here. Um, I'm so excited. I was telling my kids to be quiet in case you guys heard that. I'm so excited to be here with you today and do a 2022 yearly reading. This is going to be so fun. How excited are all of you? Let me know whether you're live or on the replay. How excited are all of you to be going into a new year? I know if you haven't heard me say it already, I'm so excited. I'm so glad to leave 2021, 2020 behind, right? And really just dream big, honestly. I know I talk about dreaming big all the time, but we've all been through something, right, in the past 2 years. Like, we've all been through something that kind of set us back, in one way or another. So I feel like now is the time for each and every one of us to choose to really dream big, to go after what we want, to not let the external of what's happening to really influence us. And that we can create whatever we want, regardless of what's happening, right? So that's the biggest thing that I want you guys to leave with today, regardless of what the cards say when we pull them. And of course, I'll do all that. And that will give us guidance of where we're headed, what we need to shift out of, and so much more, right? It's going to be a group 2022 reading. So I'll pull a few cards for the year, and then I'll pull a few cards for each month. So that's how I'm going to do it. And yeah, so like I said, the biggest thing is for you to know that you have the power. Like, it's all within you. Like, what do you choose? What do you believe? What do you hope for? What do you want to manifest, right? Because that's really what it's all about. Not about anybody else. It's about you, right? If you want to let what's happening weigh you down and get you in defeat, and by the way, we can all get there for a moment, right? But we get to shift out of it. So say hello as you're joining me, whether you're live or on the replay. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Beth. Hi, Nisha. Thank you so much for joining me. Kelsey from Canada. Beautiful. Yes. So you have the choice. You have the power. You can manifest whatever you want in 2022. So you get to make it magical. And I want that for each and every one of you, right? I want us all to have like a fabulous year. And there's a quote from Zora Neale. Am I saying that right now? It seems like it's wrong. Zora Neale Hurston. It's from Their Eyes Are Watching God, from that book. I read that in college years ago. And it says there are years that ask questions and there are years that answers questions, right? And to me, what that means is really that, sometimes life seems unstable. We're asking a lot of questions. We don't know what's going on. Maybe we're going through struggles, right? Like, things are coming at us and we're sort of like, okay, why? Like, what? Right? But then the next year, things fall into place. Then the next year, like, something even better happens, right? I always talk about struggles are blessings, and from, how we respond to it, what comes from it after, who we become, what we can create after is the beauty of life. So that's what I want you to leave with, if nothing else, from this live today. Hi, Missy. Hi, Christina. Thank you all for joining me. All right. In case you're new to me, I'm Crystal Lynn, Divine Empowerment Coach, and I really focus on helping women to break free from past abuse, to trust themselves, and to claim their lives as free, powerful, independent women. I do have a 2022 planning session. I have 2 spots left if you guys are interested in that, where I use your astrology as well as pull cards for you individually based on your goal. We'll have a coaching session as well. And we'll break it down in terms of what your 2022 goal is that you want to achieve at the end of the year. We'll break it down with month-by-month guidance, and you'll get like a monthly guide after the session also, so you can tune in and check in and keep yourself on track and know what to avoid. So I have 2 spots left for that. So if you wanted to do that, I'm trying to think what word you should, just type plan. Type plan in the comments or DM me plan, so I know that you're interested, because I only have 2 spots left for that, and I'll get with you guys after this live is over. Hi, Dottie. Thanks for joining me. All right, I'm going to start pulling cards now. So I'm going to pull a few cards just to represent 2022 in general, and then I will go into the month. So while you're all live with me here and I'm starting to pull cards, put in the comments, what would you love to manifest in 2022? If you could only pick one goal or one thing to manifest in 2022 by the end of 2022, what would that be for you? Now, as you write it, you're claiming it, you're owning it, you're allowing it to happen, to come to you, right? So don't be shy. Everyone, put your one goal that you want for 2022 in the comments now. And I'm going to pull a few cards to represent the year while you guys are all doing that. And by the way, in case I haven't mentioned, I like the number 22, right? 2022, because it's a double 11. You all know 11's my number, right? And 22 is a double 11. So the way I see it is, it's gotta be a good year, right? Who's with me? Like, what? Yeah, put it in the comments. All right, so far I see promotion. Yes, let's wish for everyone to get promoted or make more money in their business or inherit money or have money just come in the mail, whatever, right? Love it. Let's wish for abundance, career. Yes, similar, and abundance of money. Oh, we're all on money and abundance. I love it. So far, we're putting the same thing in here. Isn't that beautiful? 50,000 income per month. Beautiful. All right. So loving it. Abundance. We're definitely going to hold the space high with abundance for all of us. I love it. All right. So let's see. I pulled 3 cards to represent 2022 just now. And the first one I got is the Hermit card. So this is all about finding or being a mentor, right? Taking a break from society and a commitment to your spiritual growth. So think about it. We are in a time, like the pandemic happens for a reason. And part of that reason is so that a lot of people would start to grow spiritually. A lot of people would start to shift, grow, and ascend, right? That's definitely part of the reason. So you know, what is your part in that? And honestly, individually is the biggest thing, right? The more you can shift, grow your own spiritual or personal growth, right? The more you can contribute to your own healing, the more that is going to impact others, right? You're going to show up differently at your job, in your relationships, in your business. You're going to show up differently when you've done the work, when you connect, right? And maybe the next level for you is you also being a mentor for others, right? But you know, coaches have coaches, right? So whether it's for your business or like, it always needs to be you. Like, you still need to do it for you first, even if it's also your business. Like, you still need to have coaches, even if you had coaches, right? You like, there's always a next level for us. So that's what I'm saying. So the Hermit card is really about you making sure you're dedicated to your spiritual and personal growth this year for 2022, right? What's the next level for you? You know, I was a part of a leadership program. Now I'm coaching the leadership program, right? Like, that was the next level for me, you know, in one area. And oh my God, is it so rewarding to coach and like see these people transform. I mean, obviously that's what I love about being a coach in general anyway, right? Hi, Diana. Thanks for joining me. But oh my God, is it so powerful, right? So just making sure you're always working on yourself is one theme so far for 2022. The next card is the Star card. And this says, look to the future with hope and optimism. The power of faith to move mountains. Happy changes that bring relief from challenging times. Okay, so so this is confirming that what I'm saying about 2022 being a good year, right? This is confirmation. Because it says relief from challenging times. And again, right, look to the future with hope and optimism. Again, it's about controlling your mindset, looking towards what you want, right? Which is what I started out saying in the beginning. Like, you can do whatever it is you achieve to do, regardless of what's happening. And having that faith, we got to just have that faith. We don't know. It feels scary. It feels unsure. But we got to head towards what we're feeling called to do, right? What's in our hearts, what's driving us, what's guiding us. Like, we know it, but sometimes it just feels weird and not logical, and oh, who am I, right? And all that stuff comes up, and you get to just go, whatever, I'm going to do it anyway, right? So yeah, I love it. All right, So let's see, one more card for the year. And this card is Prince of Spring. It's immediate action, right? So it's about taking immediate action, a challenge you can successfully manage, or a passionate relationship. So I love that we got these three cards together, right? Because it's really about first going inward, first making sure that you're straight, you're good, right? Or where are you at spiritually, personally? Are you working on yourself? Are you getting past your own struggles, your own blocks? Are you shifting to your next level in that way, right? That's honestly the first step, right? Making sure where you're at. And then it's like, okay, I get to now focus on what I want. I get to put myself out there. Like, this is new things are coming, to be hopeful and optimistic about it, right? And then take the action. Take the action. Like, you absolutely can do this, but you have to take the action. You have to take the steps. And I said this a million times before, but I'll say it again. Maybe you're new to me. Maybe you just need to hear it today, but any action will do. Of course, it's better to tap into your intuition and take aligned action and do what's feel right. But not doing anything is the worst thing you can do, because if you take the wrong step, you're going to learn, tweak, and you're still one step higher. You're still getting there. You're still working up the staircase. Whereas if you do nothing, you can't get your goal. You can't achieve what you want, right? So we have to take the action, but we don't always know how. Sometimes we take one action and it's literally another action that ends up coming in after, or something else happens after, right? Like, we do one thing, something else comes in, right? It happens like that all the time. But you have to be willing to take the action. And honestly, it's not just action, but you have to be willing to be really, really uncomfortable. You have to be willing to get messy. You have to be willing to do what's necessary. You have to be willing to leave who you are today behind, so that you can become who you're supposed to be to make this magnificent future happen, right? Like, there's always a cost, there's always a price. I guarantee you it's going to be amazing, right? If you can step up and be uncomfortable and take the action, because what's ahead is amazing. Sometimes it's about enforcing boundaries, and there might be a struggle first before it gets better. Like, it depends on where you're at. But either way, what's going to happen long term is so much more amazing. Like, you have to show up, you got to face what's going on. You can't put your head in the sand and pretend things are okay, right? You have to face it, whatever it is, whatever area of your life, and then deal with it, right? What's the plan? Get a coach, this hermit thing. Like, maybe you need a coach, right? Get a coach. Start a meditation practice if you can't afford a coach. And by the way, money is energy, so that's bullshit. By the way, if you think you can't afford something, that's bullshit. I'm just going to let you know right now. That's your own limitations and your own self-worth that's in your way. But I understand there are certain practicalities, right? But the thing is, you can manifest whatever you want, is what I'm saying. So I'm not denying that you could be in a spot where finances are tight right now. But what I'm saying is, as you shift your mindset, you can, because look at, we put abundance, 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 right? So I didn't know I was going to go into this, but it's a lot of what we're wishing for too, right? But as you shift your mindset, as you open yourself up to the possibility that, oh, money is energy, the universe provides, like, I'll always be taken care of. As you shift into that, you'll notice that money shows up. Things happen. Things work out. Like, it all works out. It all happens for you. So that's what I mean by it. A lot of times we repel money due to unconscious or subconscious blocks, right? We don't realize they're there. Maybe they came from childhood. Maybe they are from something that recently happened, like whatever. But it's very interesting. Okay. I didn't know I was going to go into all that. But the point is, take action. That's the biggest point of what I'm trying to say. Take action. Don't not do anything, because then you're going to be in the same place you're at, which is not where you want to be a year from now, right? You want amazing, beautiful things happening. You deserve amazing, beautiful things, and you are worthy of each and every amazing and beautiful thing that could possibly happen to you, right? You deserve deep relationships and connection. You deserve abundance, lots of money. Like, you deserve all of it, and I want all of that for all of you. So Tammy says in the comments, love your coaching guidance and doing the work and having faith and having the positive, magical outcomes. Yes, absolutely. And great card. Yes. So those are our 22 cards: the Hermit, the Star, and the Prince of Spring, which is about action. So now let's pull a few cards for January 2022. I'm going to switch. I'm going to use different decks for us. So now I'm going to pull cards for January 2022 and see what January has in store for us. And it's always good to get clear, right? That's why I asked you guys in the beginning, like, what do you want for this year, right? It's always good to get clear on what you want so that you can ask for it. Maybe it comes in a little differently, but it'll be perfect, whatever it is. All right, so for January, the first card we have is Decision. Decision, Archangel Jophiel. And let's see what this card's about here. It says, release yourself from that which holds you back. A need to detox. Unnecessary worry based on a lack of confidence. Well, I gotta say, I love that we're getting this right in January, right? Because we can shift it and work through it in January so that and make even January good, but also so the rest of the year can flow, right? Once we release what's holding us back, like what opens up? And it's so true, like so much can open up. I mean, we're all, there's levels to healing, right? Like even just your parents, there's so much negative beliefs and negative thoughts and limiting beliefs that you have from your parents, right? From childhood, that were passed down to you, or that you decided to believe about the world because of what was happening around you, right? And a lot of it's BS. Well, all of it is BS, honestly, because they're limiting it negative. So they're all not true. And you get to shift and you get to believe something new, but you can't just shift like that's why we got the Hermit card, right? You can't just shift. Like you need to do the work, you need to show up, you need to find the best way to release it for you. So, yeah. And I need to detox, right? So that means are there negative people in your space? Are you drinking or, any addictions, right? Like alcohol, drugs, sugar, right? Like whatever that is for you. Is there something that you need to detox from? Thinking about that too. And it's also people, right? That's why I mentioned that. It could be also negative people and having that in your space. So, yes. And then the other thing that this is referring to is the worry, right? We let the fear just grow and grow, and it like takes over and becomes this big thing instead of, like I said, shifting. That's why shifting to that blind faith, being uncomfortable, like doing all that stuff, taking those leaps of faith are the most important thing, because it shifts you out of who you think you aren't, right? Like you think you're not enough, you think you're whatever your negative thought is, which is all BS. But if you just get into action and you start doing, right, help people, like go after your dreams, whatever that is, then that can shift. That'll start to shift for you, right? You'll realize that it's BS. So, all right, second card for the month of January is Five of Gabriel. And it says, a challenge you can resolve. Withdraw from the drama of others. Have patience with yourself and those around you. Jaden, can you get me a cup of water? Do you want to fill this up with water? Yes, I'm live right now. Who? Sorry guys. All right, so the next card, I think I just read this. A challenge you can resolve, withdraw from the drama of others, and have patience with yourself and those around you. So again, there's something about making sure you're not absorbing the negative energies of others that is mentioned in this card, right? And this is for January. I pulled 3 for January. And patience. We never like to wait. At least I don't. Right? So really, yeah. So having that patience and knowing that you have the answers, right? Because it says a challenge you can resolve. So again, it's about knowing you have the answers, going within, picking what's right for you, and really working towards that. Because actually the next card is the Six of Gabriel, and it says, congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to the next project. And it mentions awards, scholarships, or promotions, right? So I know some of you wanted promotions. Well, How about if you got them as soon as January, right? Like, why wait? What can you manifest now? Um, yeah. So, oh, I love this because that means as you work through what's holding you back, as you work through the worry, as you work through the negative, right? As you release from the drama of others, as you see how you can resolve it, then you become successful. So January is going to become it looks like a very pivotal, you know what I mean? Like pivotal, like a very transitional month. So I'm just taking pictures of the cards month by month. Perhaps I'll put them up. I don't know. No promises, but maybe. Patience and compassion. Yeah. So let me know if you're here. Well, whether you're live on the replay, like did the what's it called? Did the 2022 yearly cards resonate or the January ones so far? Like what's resonating with you? I've already been talking for so long. All right, now we're going to go into February. Oh, let's do the love cards because it's February, right? Why not? All right, so let's see what message February has for us. February 2022. All right, so the first card we got here is act as if your partner is here. So for those of you who are single, act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they're with you so you will always consider them. So how would you show up differently if your love was already there, right? If you were already in a relationship, how would you, I don't know, would you eat differently? Would you exercise more? Would your home be cleaner, right? And things like that if you had someone in your life versus if you were single. Like that's what's coming to my mind, right? Like how would you show up differently? Yes, also an amazing star and completely resonates. Perfect. And then if you do have a partner, right? I mean, you're not with them all the time either. Or maybe, you know, what's coming up for you is how you could improve, right? How you could be nicer to yourself, kinder to yourself and them, right? Like, how would you show up differently and better? Maybe you need to drop a wall for some of you, right? Maybe it's about dropping that wall and being fully transparent and open and honest and loving and vulnerable, by the way. You know, you want to connect on a deeper level with someone, be vulnerable, like share, be open. Don't worry about looking bad, right? Or weak or whatever. Just share, like share what has happened to you in the past, you know? All right, next card is I love you. It says these are powerful words. So we all honestly, we just want to be loved when you come to the core of it, right? We want to love and be loved. So how can we simplify all this nonsense that happens, whether it's fighting or just not being seen or right, whatever. Maybe it's from childhood, like feeling not enough, feeling unlovable, things like that, right? How can you just drop all that and know that you're worthy, know that you're amazing, just so deserving of love and completely love yourself, like really invest that love into you. Because the more you can love and appreciate yourself, the more you're going to have the space and the capacity to love somebody else. Now, by the way, also receiving is coming up for me right now. So being open to receiving, right? Sometimes we can be really good at giving, but we're not receiving the love. So pay attention to how you can also receive love from others. And just drop the bullshit, really, is what's coming to mind. Like, drop the, you know, there's a saying, you could be right or you could be happy, right? Sometimes we argue because we just want to be right. And it's like, whether you're right or not, is it more important than your relationship and your connection with another person, right? So really just tuning into love and being in that space of love and trying to notice what's good about someone, right? What are their positive strengths? What's amazing about them and yourself too. But in terms of relationship, right? The more you can focus on what's good about them versus what's bad, the more that things are going to go smoothly, right? Like instead of nagging when they do something wrong, instead speak up every time they do it right, right? And then like you change the whole dynamic just by doing that. Like don't say something when you want to when they didn't do what you wanted them to do. especially over the little things, right? But I'm not saying always shut your mouth, by the way. But I'm saying on the day to day, like if every day you're like, oh, you didn't do that, right? It's like, oh, that's really draining, right? So how can you instead, and it might take a while, and it could be a hard habit to break, but how can you start to just speak to what you did like that day, just what was good, what went well, what made you happy about that day, right? And watch your relationship will change and their energy will shift, right? Just with that little thing. And then the last one says choose love. Did I show you that I love you one? I think I did. The last one says choose love. You always have a choice and make yours with love. Um, and there's a lot of family pictures here, like a lot of playing, a lot of, spending time with family or loved ones, and just really like how can you I want to say choose joy, right? As well. Like, how can you choose joy and love and just make your days amazing and wonderful and beautiful and magnificent? The artwork on these cards are so pretty too. There's like a family, different little gatherings of people here. And it could be a community for you. Maybe it's just a community of friends for you. Or both, right? Family, friends, romantic love, like anything, right? It can look like anything. So what's coming up for you guys? How are these cards resonating around relationships, right? For the month of February. Let me know if these are making sense for you all. What's coming up for you? Relationships. Be more, do more together. Yes. All right, let's go to March. What do I do for March? All right, so March. All right, we got release is the first card for March. It says let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities. Time to move on. Okay, so maybe this is something that all is already in the works right now, maybe not, right? And it's going to be different for each of you, but either way, and again, it's also going to be different for each person, right? Maybe it's something that you wanted to let go of, maybe it's something another person let you go, or right, it can be different situations. So the important thing is that no matter how it happens, to kind of surrender to the fact that this could be happening for you, even though it may not seem like it at the time, and that something better is next, right? Because it's saying it makes way for new opportunities, so something better is next. So that's the first card. The first card is releasing something in March. The next card is the Ten of Spring card, and it says, ask for help from others. All work and no play, being weighed down by too many responsibilities. So, delegate, right? Delegate. You don't need to do it all alone. How can you delegate? Where can you delegate? And maybe with your home life, and maybe with your family, and maybe with your business. Like, what are you trying to do all on your own, handling all by yourself? And think about where could you delegate that right now? Where could you make your kids do chores, or have your husband do more around the house, or hire a VA, or maybe get somebody to clean your house too, or automate things, right? How can you automate certain things so you don't have to do everything yourself? And it could be even friends, like bartering, right? Like both of you helping each other out, so that you're not doing everything all on your own too. The next card is life experience, and it says let go of belief systems that no longer work for you. An important life-changing event, a situation that leads to significant opportunities. Um, so this is, again, it's another like sort of definitely transformation type card, where you're going to be letting go of what no longer serves you. Letting go. And in order to let go, they need to come into our awareness first, right? So it's most likely something that you didn't have awareness of, or you couldn't see it clearly, even if you had a slight awareness. And something happens this month that really makes you go, oh, wow, that's why I was doing that, because that was blocking me. And wow, like I can choose differently now. I can let that belief go, and I can now believe that I am wealthy, for example, right? Whatever it is, it may not be around wealth. That's just an example. But I know abundance was, what we picked, a lot of people put in the comments. So you can just believe, like, I am a wealthy woman. I am a wealthy woman. This is the face of a wealthy woman, right? So let me know if these are resonating with all of you. And again, we have to let go in order to receive, right? So we have to do the releasing. We have to shift our beliefs before we can really tune into what's next, before we can really manifest. So actually, even though these cards seem a little like, oh, lots of stuff going on in March, it's also great because we're moving out, we're getting rid of the gunk so that the beautiful can come in, right? Yeah, in the comments it says yes to accept apologies and people can change for the better, and saying positive and compassionate. Yes, I love the way you wrote that. Absolutely. All right, what are we on now? January, February, March, April, right? April. What do I want to do for April? Let's do the stuff for April. Are you guys having fun yet? Right. Okay. Well, these are super fun ones. All right. The first one we have for April is Divine Matrix. Divine Matrix. And this is really about knowing that you have the power. You can manifest what you want, but you're also working with Source, with God, right, to make it happen. So to be open to, you may not know the how. And surrender, right? It's a lot about surrendering too, getting clear, focusing on what you want to manifest, but also surrendering to divine source and believing you can, right? It goes back to believing you can, like you are super powerful. God is also within you, right? It's within each one of us. So you have the ability to manifest and create that which it is that you want to create. And I guess there's a little bit of being humble in there too, right? Because knowing that we're creating with God, knowing that we're creating with Source, knowing that like we're a channel, right? Our gifts and talents are just that, they're gifts from God, right? And we use them. Well, if you're here, you're using it to be in service, right? If you're here with me, then I know you're here because you want better for the world, you want better for yourself, right? So you're using them in the most beautiful way. The next card is Great Big Love. Great Big Love, and that's card 26, Great Big Love. This is beautiful. Intuitively, I'm feeling like a great big love can be coming for many of you. What is this, April? Yeah, April. So great big love could be coming for many of you if you're single, or perhaps if you're already in a relationship, a deepening of that relationship. Let's see what the card meeting says here for this, because it sounds really exciting. It says, love without conditions, romantic love and how that experience changes you. Deep, profound, harmonious connections and soulmates. So yes, absolutely. It's about meeting your love, and not just any love, right? But like your soulmate, beautiful, amazing love. So just surrendering to the magic, falling in love. And it says this card portrays an intimate connection, but you don't have to wait for a partner to experience it, right? You're being called now to explore love in all its beauty. Can you love without conditions, without needing things to be perfect? Do you love your life, what you do, and how you contribute to the world? Today, invite love with a capital L into your world. You'll be amazed at what will change as a result. Love is the strength you need today, the lens you must look through to find the truth and your way. Love is the way, and the only answer. And the next card we got for April is Wish Upon a Star. So amazing things here in April, which is perfect, right? Wish upon a star. What is it you dream for? What is it you want? Again, you get to manifest it. You get to dream it. visualize, right? So you can make it happen. And don't play too small, right? Because God sees even more for you than you can. So it's really about setting the intention, right? Based on what you really want, set that intention and then take the action. Um, take that committed action towards your vision, really, is what this is about. Wish on the star, set the intention, and then take the action. Um, trust that your dreams can become reality and the importance of daydreams. So, yes, visualizing. It says, allow yourself to dream and play, even if it seems impossible. Why not choose it? Wish upon a star and then live as if your wish were already true. Know those beautiful dreams you have been nurturing are in the process of becoming real. And don't forget that the act of wishing, dreaming, and intending is more important than figuring out the how. It shows the universe you're serious about playing the game of life and you trust the essence of partnership. Remember, every dream you believe in and have hope for is a call to a twinkling star. The answer will come, sometimes swiftly, sometimes slowly. No wish is ever wasted. So, do you believe your dreams can come true? I mean, oh my God, these are magical cards. Like manifestation twice, great love coming in. Um, yeah, I can't wait for April. I don't know about you guys. Right? It's so fun. All right, let's see. What do we got next here? Let's do the next month. Let's do the next month. Let's use these for May. All right. All right, so the first card we got is the Pillar of Light card. This is for May 2022. It says your vibration is rising and you are the oracle. So you really are. It's kind of beautiful because we got this spiritual growth in January, right? So now it's saying that, oh, you're in tune, you have grown spiritually, like you are definitely connected to divine, to source, to God, right? And that you are acting on intuition. You are doing your soul's calling, right? You are acting on that in the process of that, whatever that is. And also, if your vibration is high, then you're spreading joy and love and light to those around you as well. And it does do that, right? Like in your physical location, even Zoom groups, right? Like your energy, it's really doesn't, it's not bound by distance, but it will also affect those around you too. So, yes. So, you are a pillar of light, you're a divine being, and you know it, and you're owning it. The next card is transformation, and it says things are changing at a cellular level, and deep healing is happening. Um, so it's interesting and beautiful that both of these cards will be happening at the same time, right? Where deep healing is happening at the same time as you are totally connected and in tune, and yeah, just connected to who you are and your being, right? It doesn't mean there's just because you're there, that doesn't mean there's nothing left to heal, right? And I think that's an important thing to take notice to. Just because you're in a good spot doesn't mean, oh my God, life's going to be amazing. Everything's going to be perfect now, right? I mean, things can definitely go better and go well, and right, but it doesn't mean that you're without struggle or you're without any defeats or any bumps on the road, right? It does mean you'll be able to handle them easier or quicker. It does mean you'll be able to heal them quicker. And then if you can't, get a coach, get a session, like whatever it is, right? To focus on you. And the next card we got for this month is to know. And I don't know if I've ever gotten a no card from this deck. There's a yes card and there's a no card from this deck. And I don't think I've ever gotten the no card. So it says wait, postpone, pause, and say no. And what I'm getting intuitively is that this is relating to the healing card, right? You need to say no to something because you're still in the process of healing, whether it's a person or a situation or a group or honestly could be a lot around enforcing your boundaries too, right? And saying no is definitely a part of enforcing your boundaries. If you have been just people pleasing and doing what others wanted instead of what you wanted, then now's the time to really speak up and say no for you, for yourself, to put yourself first. And also, either way, you're putting yourself first because you're taking this time for your transformation and your healing, and you're also tuned in, right? So the saying no to me just means that you're putting you first and that you're taking time for you and that you're saying no to those things that are interfering with that. You're saying no to those things which are not in your highest good. That's the way I see it. So it's actually a good thing to say no to things that really you don't want to do anyway. And then you get to make time for all the things that are beautiful, magical, amazing, and worthy of your time and are going to help you keep rising, right? You want to say yes to the things that are letting you rise and float and be in good vibration, right? I'm just saying float because of how the card is. But yeah, you get to say yes to all that, and you get to say no to what doesn't light you up. Like, nah, I'll pass, right? All right, so that's a beautiful month too. I think I just took those photos, didn't I? So funny when you do so many in a row, you start to forget. All right, for June, next is for June 2022. Again, this replay will be up too, so you could always like if you're hopping on late or you want to go back and check certain months later, you can do that too. This is for June 2022. And we got, the first one we got is the Hungry Ghost. And it's talking about obsession, scarcity consciousness, and attachment. So who or what are you connected to that is dragging you down? That is not in your best interest. Again, it could be as simple as like the detox that we mentioned earlier, to really detox yourself from those negative people, addictions, and things like that, and clearing your space that way. But it's more about like mindset with this card. It's more about like what are you focused on, right? And what I'm getting an image of now is, when we try too hard and we're like in that do force energy, but we're not connected intuitively to the action and the energy. It's like pushing that rock up the hill, and it's just all the effort it takes, and it's just so hard. And it's like, notice, right? Notice, especially in this month of June, what feels hard, right? Like, what are you obsessing over? What are you fixated on? Where do you have this masculine push, do energy? And like, it's not working, or something about it isn't working, or it feels really heavy, right? Because that's where you're going to need to shift and pivot and focus on something else instead. The next card is the Ice Queen, and this talks about ideas preserved and not taking action and entitlement. So, yeah, if we aren't taking action, right, I mentioned this earlier, like you have to take the action. You can't just hope and wish and dream, right? That entitlement, like, oh, it just should be mine just because it should be mine. Well, why? Like, what did you do to earn it, to deserve it, right? That kind of thing. And are we all born like abundant and inherently worthy? Absolutely. But we get to be kind people that want to help each other, that are in service to the world, right? That are taking some sort of action to fulfill our dreams, but our dreams are helping someone else, right? Whether it's a beautiful piece of artwork or you're a coach like myself, right? Like you're in service of others in some way, shape, or form. So really noticing when you're stuck and rigid and fixed and not willing to shift and look at things a different way is going to be really important in this month of June. And also not taking action is another thing, like being really careful that you're taking action. The last card is actually about the big picture and angelic help. So yeah, I'm loving that this is the last card, because really what you get to do when we're in these situations of what's not working, right? Like being fixed, not taking action, being obsessed and attached and in lack, right? All those things aren't working. So what do we get to do to shift? Well, you get to call on your angels for help, right? You get to pray, you get to meditate with the angels, whatever works for you. Even journal, right? to really ask for their help, their guidance. You can do this anytime, by the way, right? But obviously, make sure you're doing it in the month of June. And then the big picture. So it's going to help you to span out, right? If you're obsessed, if you're attached, if you're feeling entitled, if you don't want to take action in the moment, in the month, in the day, in the week, whatever, it's a good idea to like span out a little bit. Okay. Well, what did you want to create in the year of 2022, right? Because now we're in June, we're at like a halfway point, right? So, what did you want to create for this year, for the next 2 years, for the next 5 years? What do you really want to create for your life? And how is you being so obsessed, attached, fixed, entitled, right? Or lack, like, how is this serving you? It's not, like, it's never going to serve you. I mean, you may gain some comfort or some familiar things out of it, but in the long term, it's not serving you and your goal and your wish and your dream and what you want. So you get to ask yourself and shift into the big picture. What do I really want? Okay, if I really want that, then maybe I got to let go of my attachment to this. Maybe I got to let go of my entitlement to that particular thing. Maybe I get to pivot and I just get to connect to what do I want? Why do I really want it? What's the big picture? What am I hoping to achieve? What would the most ideal outcome be? Right? Like these are going to be the key questions to ask yourself so that you can pivot and shift. Yes, so that's what I have for June. All right, let me take a picture of this and then I'll move on to July. Let me know in the comments what's resonating for you guys so far. Happy holidays, yes. Saying no is a yes in your life. I love that. Yes. I know. We can so easily, like, we think we have to, right? When it comes to family or whoever, even work, maybe, right? Calling us in on our day offs or whatever that is, you know? We get to say no. Like, we have a choice sometimes, right? Well, we always have choice, not sometimes. All right. So now we're on July. Let's go back to these angel cards here for July. All right. You know, this is so helpful. And it'll be helpful later, right? To look back and go, oh, man, yeah, she said that like entitlement or attachment was going to be a thing in June. And oh, man, now, like, and you might look back and go, man, I'm so fixed on this right now, right? Like, how can I open up my perception and see things differently, right? Oh, so interesting. Because it'll be helpful later. All right, so for July, the first card that I have is the Knight of Michael. So it's about time to move quickly. Choose logic over emotion and sudden changes. Whew. So it's really about action, right? It's really about action, going after what you want. Like not taking no for an answer type of energy, right? It's definitely what I'm getting. And yeah, like you can make it happen too, is also what's in here, right? The next card is the Page of Ariel. And this is saying an excellent opportunity will be offered to you. Scholarships in the pursuit of education. Time to get to work. And I know, yeah, we were focused on promotions, money, abundance, right? So like what opportunity is going to come to you? Maybe it's a job. This talks about scholarships and education, but it could be a job, a collaboration, right? Something like that for you guys also. So, whew, yeah, an excellent opportunity. I love it. And then the next card is the Four of Ariel, and it says, when you give, you also receive. Being resistant to change and extremes in how you spend and save money. So how can you have a healthy relationship with money, right? What is your money story? What words are you using about money? What are you saying about money? What are you thinking about money? Did you take on your parents' beliefs about money? By the way, you most certainly did, whether you realize it or not. And it just depends, like, how much work you've done on that, how much you've worked through that, and to really shift your perception and your view of money. But it's also being open to receive in general, not just money, like anything. Like maybe for some of you, you're not letting love in, for example, right? Or or connection, even with friendships or whatever like that. So notice where you're resistant. Notice where you're really not allowing yourself to receive. But also amazing things are happening this month too, right? With the opportunity being offered, and then the action. Lots of action this month with the first card, with the Knight of Michael card. Oh, I'm getting tired of talking. All right, it's funny. Let's do August. Well, we had two cards just fall out for us then. Okay. August, we have the Six of Spring is the first card for August. Wonderful news is on its way. Smart choices that will bring rewards, success, and public recognition. So for a lot of you, it could be getting promoted, having your business go well. Yeah, I see a lot of success in like the career area. It could even be it could even be like, I don't know, getting like a Talk of the Town Hero Award or something, right? Like something like that in your community too is what's coming through. But also I see the rewards definitely like, career, like making more money, getting more clients, right? Just really, yeah, things blossoming and stepping up. So that's the first card for August. The second card is the King of Winter. So it says, get advice from someone professional and objective. Public speaking or unemotional relationship. Um, so the first thing's going to be like, seek advice. Don't think you know it all is the one thing. Always trust your own intuition and discernment, but definitely take the time to get advice from someone who is the professional, who has done what it is you're trying to do, type of thing. And then you can think about the advice they give you and what resonates with you and what doesn't. It's be wary of doing everything everyone says. Like make sure you're also listening to yourself at the same time when you're getting advice from others. Is the biggest thing I want to say here, because your intuition is always key and on point, right? And then in terms of the unemotional relationships, it could just be referencing that you're seeking advice from someone and that's the dynamic of the relationship, but it can also be a signal for you to pay attention to where you need to show up and be more connected in your relationships as well. And then the last card we got here is Justice. Time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end, fair and objective decisions. So what have you been trying to, like, I don't know, bring about to right a wrong? Maybe it's actually going through the court system or something. Maybe it's just, um, working something out with someone, right? But this card is about like getting what you want in the end. You finally getting and having and achieving what it is you want. So beautiful, because we have the success, getting advice, right? Getting this advice from the professional may be bringing you that success. And then you also have the Justice card. So I'm loving this spread for August here. um, just checking your comments. Partnerships, 1 + 1 is a 3 again. Go further, more inspiration, maybe relationship. Is he the one? Yeah. Nailed it. Oh, awesome. Okay, awesome. Yay, I love that you guys are getting so much out of this. Let's do this stuff. All right, we're on September. September 2022. Whew. All right, September. Guys, I'm still live, so no yelling. I'm not usually live for this long, right? All right, so, all right, this is for September 2022, and the first card we got is education. So we have a lot of stuff with education. So, by the way, it doesn't necessarily mean, what's it called? Doesn't necessarily mean like you're going to go back to school or something like that, right? It could just mean like maybe you're going to take a little course or learn a certain thing so that you then can use that to, I don't know, improve your relationships, obviously, create a business around it and things like that. So definitely education, what can you learn in this month of September? And it's actually perfect that September is usually when we go back to school, isn't it? So for some of you, maybe it is like going to college, but for some of you, it could be just like taking an online course, right? And learning that way for sure. Um, and then we got the card Stormfields. I mean, I I'm intuitively feeling like it means that it's getting rid of what's in your way to open you up for more to come. This is what the card looks like, Stormfields. But I will read the meaning for you guys. So it says, "This too shall pass." It's talking about an uncomfortable chaos surrounding you, and there may be some conflict and pent up energy that needs to release. Just as a storm in nature must break, these events occur when the electricity between opposing forces stir things up and creates temporary disorder. Not all storms are destructive. Rather, they serve nature by bringing rain to the ground and wind to the trees, enabling the seeds to be widely distributed and continuous growth to be ensured. Just remember that whatever is being stirred up inside you or between you and another will benefit you later. The sun will shine again and a new growth will be observed. Don't be afraid to shake things up a little. So that is the meaning of this card, right? It is definitely moving out what's not in your best interest. And then the last card we have for September is this Gentle Gardener card. And those are like little eggs with fairies on them, I guess. Yeah, I believe they're eggs. Um, so, um, be your own person. Be your own person. Be a conscious co-creator. This is reminding you that your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings create the reality you experience. The energy within you is sent out into a field of co-creation and ensures that all that you are is reflected in the world of form. Are you aware of your thoughts? What is their quality? Believe in limitless possibility, and you will see miracles unfold. This card is saying that pay attention to what you're doing, to what are you sending out into the world. Stay positive and expect a wondrous return. Your garden is abundant with beauty. So beautiful, right? Learning, getting some things out of the way, and also choosing your thoughts, choosing the good, choosing to create an amazing life and reality, right? All right, so what do we have next? October. Let's do October. All right, October. We have the moon is the first card we have for October. The moon, Archangel Haniel, and she actually, yeah, she works with like the energy of the moon. So, it says opportunity to improve your plans. Listen to your intuition for accurate guidance. Face your fears and grow stronger. So the next card says it's the Five of Michael, and it says this situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. Um, so when we get these two cards together, you know, it's like, let's get over your fears. Let's get the defeat out of the way. Let's really tune into what you want and let's make our plans from that place. Let's make sure that we're not making our plans and goals based on fear. Like, let's not make decisions based on fear. Let's make decisions based on our intuition, right? And releasing attachment to the outcome is always the way that you're going to really manifest in the highest good because like I said earlier, God knows what's right for you more than you do, right? Um, so release your attachment to the outcome and really focus on what you want. Let go of what's not, you know, it's also about letting go of what's not serving you. The next card is Eight of Ariel, and it says, take great pride in your excellent work. Practice makes perfect. Consider getting additional training or education. So I see a lot of you are really going to come into your own. A lot of you are really going to be learning this year and starting your business, getting better at your business. Maybe you're even working for somebody else, but you're learning like your, you know, career or business, right? A lot of you are just learning, perfecting, and like becoming experts almost, right, in your field. So that's beautiful. So let me know if that's resonating. Um, for October. And releasing attachment, I mean, that's like we could talk all night long just about the releasing attachment to things because sometimes it's just so hard to do. But it's also really important because really, I used to think like surrender meant giving up or right, and it doesn't. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means like, okay, maybe God has something better, or maybe He knows better, or right, like maybe He envisions it better. So releasing attachment means, okay, if it's for my highest good, then it'll come. If not, something different will. If not, it'll be tweaked, right? Like, just being open to allow the best to come to you. And we can get fixed on certain things, absolutely, for sure. Um, so we got one of the cards we already got again. We got the Four of Ariel. This is for November 2020. So we got the Four of Ariel card again, which we did already get. Talking about when you give, you also receive, and being open to receiving, and that you're being resistant to change and extremes in how you spend or save money. The next card we have is the Queen of Raphael, and this is about following your heart, a love of home and family, and trustworthy psychic information. So either you're giving information as a psychic or you're receiving information. It could be both, but knowing that, first of all, like this card's green, it's got Raphael, it's all about the heart chakra, right? It's like when you really just tune into love and, you know, just do what you feel, like connect with those that you love and go after what you want and really just follow your heart. It could be even going after a career, right? Just following your heart that way. And with your family, like don't hold back, like tell them that you care about them, right? So that's what I'm getting for that card. And then we have the Knight of Raphael card, which again could be meeting a new person for those of you who are single, or the relationship deepening, because it's about committed romantic relationships and being swept off your feet. Situations or topics that make your heart flutter. I know in April we said the great big love was going to come in. So if you met someone in April, then the relationship may be deepening at this time in November. And if you're still single in November, you could definitely meet someone right now with this Knight of Raphael, romantic. It's like somebody coming in, sweeping you off your feet, right? Or deepening the relationship, like I said. So, and again, so the receive here is not about money, right? Because the receive in this month is, we got two love cards. So the receiving here is really going to have a lot to do with you being open to receiving love. And I know I mentioned it last time too. But the placement of this with the two cards that surround it, it's definitely going to be more about receiving love. So it's important for you to invest in yourself and give yourself that self-love in the month of November also. All right, so let's do December 2020. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for giving me your time. I hope you're as excited for this year as I am. And let's see what we got. And if you're joining me late, I did in the beginning, I did 3 cards just for an overview of 2022. So you can check that out for sure. All right, for December 2022, we have the first card is 8 of Summer, and it says the desire for a more meaningful life, realizing it's time to move on, and choosing to make major life changes. I mean, this isn't so bad because it's December and we get to then plan for the following year. So I think what can happen, well, it's always happening where we know, okay, it doesn't mean, by the way, that you achieve great things this year, right? You could have achieved plenty of great things, and then in one area of life you're like, oh, this area of my life isn't working, oh, I'm not happy with that, oh, this sucks, and now I want to change it, right? So that's how I see it. The desire for a more meaningful life, realizing it's time to move on, and choosing to make life changes, right? So what changes are you going to make now? And honestly, it doesn't have to be the whole year. Maybe you're going to make the change in December, right? And switch it that quick in the month of December. Depends what the goal or situation is, right? But knowing what isn't serving you and walking away from it is absolutely always what you should do, right? All right, the next card is 10 of Summer, and it says, an emotionally fulfilling life with family and friends, raising children wisely, people you can trust. So what I'm getting is really leaning on those, right? Like while you're going through this time, really leaning on those that you love, that you trust, that you have that bond with. Leaning on them for support, but also just relishing the time with them, right? Like enjoying the love, enjoying the connection, like really tuning into that as well. And then the last card is the Queen of Autumn card. And this is about being practical with respect to how you perceive. The ability to make anything more beautiful, meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. And it's a Queen card, right? So in your power, leading with love and confidence, like knowing that you're a boss, knowing that you can make it happen, knowing that you can manifest it, right? Is also part of the energy of a queen. But being practical, right? So, you know, it's like that one step at a time is what's coming through to me, right? Being practical doesn't mean you can't achieve your dreams. It means you have to do it one step at a time. Maybe you have to pivot or tweak your goal. It doesn't mean, by the way, to give up on your goal. None of this ever means to give up on your goal, right? It means you can do it. You get to go for it. You get to make it happen. But life happens, and you're going to have to tweak or pivot something along the way. You might have one goal and then realize, oh, I want to change it a little bit. I think I want to do this. And it'll be similar in most cases, right? For some of you, it could change. Like when your mind is made up and you're ready to do something, you are going to do it. I wrote 18 chapters of a book in less than a week. I just did this. So I've been talking about writing a book for a long time. I've started many books. I did write and finish an ebook, by the way. But in terms of a whole like longer book, I haven't finished it. So, you know, it's amazing that we think it takes forever, and then all of a sudden you can write 18 chapters in less than a week. They're not long chapters, and I'm not done. I'm going to keep adding to it. But my point is, 18 chapters doesn't sound like something you could do in less than a week, especially if you've never written a book, right? But anything's possible. Time is irrelevant because time is really not, it doesn't exist, right? So when your heart's in it, when you're motivated, when you're connected to your intuition, like you can do anything. So that's what I want for each and every one of you in 2022 to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Let me know if you enjoyed this reading. It was so much fun doing it for all of you. And if you want your 2022 planning session, we'll have a one-on-one session to really work on your goal and create a plan for you specifically month to month so you can achieve it and get it done. Write plan in the comments now or send me a DM with the word plan. This was so fun. I love the focus of abundance. I just love that theme for 2022 in general, right? I love it. Yes, karma has arrived after 7 years. Someone says technology, not going to wait until September. Yeah, technology. So get a VA, whatever. Hire your nephew. I don't know, right? Like, we don't have to know everything, but we get to be able to figure it out, to delegate, to make it happen, and to, bend time. Let's focus on bending time for 2022. Yes. Surrender and expansion. Surrender and expansion. As of this moment are my words for 2022. So I invite you to think about what are your words for 2022. If you had, I usually pick one, but I picked two this year. So if you could pick any words, what would they be? And I will see you all next time. Thank you for joining me. Alexis, tell me I'm ambitious, powerful, gifted, and talented. So I think you all needed to hear that message too. And I will see you soon. Thanks so much for being here with me.